The Bryan Area Foundation is committed to education in the Bryan area and is proud to support Bryan Middle School in today's News 6. Local support has also been provided by the Northwest Ohio Educational Technology Foundation, Bowling Green State University, and the members of WBGU-TV.
Hi! We're the 6th grade class of the Bryan Middle School, home of the Golden Bears. Welcome to News 6.
Hi, I'm Laura Gingelbach from Bryan Middle School. Welcome to News 6. With today's first story, here's Jessica Bierbauer. Did you ever wonder where museums get most of their dinosaur bones? Well, some of them come from a small business in Bryan, Ohio. News 6 reporter Jonathan Schum took the 6th graders to Midland Scientific Company to find out more about it.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Schum, and I'm here talking with Mr. Shegitz of Midland Scientific Service about fossil reproduction. Mr. Shegitz, how did you become interested in fossil reproduction?
Well, when I was young, first thing I did was get interested in collecting fossils. But you can't get enough important fossils just by collecting on your own. So I found out that reproductions could be made of fossils such as dinosaur bones and skulls and this sort of thing. So I started to pursue getting specimens from other people and learned how to make molds and cast, and this is how we got into the business.
How do you make your reproductions?
We start out with actual fossils or cast if we can get them, and we prefer the cast, and we go ahead with our molding process that uses silicone rubbers and latex rubbers, and then we cast them from that.
Where do you get your bones from?
Most of the bones are not necessarily bones that we get, but different animals like trilobites, cephalopods, dinosaurs, this sort of thing, all kinds of things. But we get them on loan from museums and universities and private collectors, and sometimes we go out and collect our own.
How do you market your reproductions?
It's mostly word of mouth, but we also have a catalog that we send out on request, and we have a lot of professors and dealers that come to the shop to make the purchases.
Today's News 6 is produced by Bryan Middle School. Bryan is the county seat of Williams County, which is located in the northwest corner of the state. Bryan is the home of the Dum Dum Sucker and the Etch-a-Sketch.
Are you getting tired of dull playgrounds with only a swing set and a slide? Then come to Imagination Station on New Joe Drive in Bryan. It's a wooden castle with almost anything you can imagine, from slides to a hanging bridge. Melissa Herman and Laura Gingelbach have the story.
Welcome to Imagination Station. Hi, I'm Melissa Herman, and I'm here talking with Bill Pepple, chairman of the construction project for Imagination Station. Mr. Pepple, how did you come up with the idea for Imagination Station?
The idea was brought to us by Connie Tipton, who had visited Wooster, Ohio, and saw a similar park there, and had inquired about how it was built. And she was fascinated with her children playing on it and thought it would be a great community project for Bryan.
Why is it called Imagination Station?
Well, the children created the playground with their ideas, and I think it's appropriate to call it Imagination Station because there's a pirate ship and there's a teepee and there's all sorts of other adventures that you can make happen at the playground if you use your imagination.
Who built it?
Volunteers built the playground in 5 days. So parents and grandparents and friends and children all working together created the playground.
What things can kids do here?
Kids can swing, they can play on the elephant slide, and we also have a zip slide. And we have a car bouncer. We have a bouncy bridge. We have a walking bridge. We have a pirate ship. Also a shoe slide. And probably my favorite would be one of my favorites would be the maze, where you can kind of chase your friends through the playground. I also think there's things for adults to do there too. And we have a place for a maze and benches around the playground so parents can see what their children are doing.
And now back to the studio!
Thank you, Mr. Pepple, for sharing Imagination Station with News 6. In this week's edition of Kids View, the 6th graders were asked to wish upon a star. Here's what we found out.
Hi, my name is Kirk Watkins with today's Kids View question. If you could take your class anywhere on a field trip, where would you go and why?
I would take my class to Disney World for 6 months to meet Mickey Mouse. I would take my class to the bottom of the ocean to study the sharks.
I would take my class to Hawaii to see the volcanoes.
Our last story is brought to us by News 6 reporter Danae Salmons. Danae took the 6th graders to meet Dr. Brent Pettigrew, a veterinarian in Bryan, Ohio. Dr. Pettigrew shared his thoughts about the importance of taking care of animals.
Hi, I'm Denise Stevens, and I'm here at Fountain City Veterinary Hospital talking to Dr. Brent Pettigrew about his practice. Dr. Pettigrew, what made you want to become a veterinarian?
That's a very good question, and I have a tough time answering that, but I can remember back when I was younger that I loved collecting the neighbors' animals, and I loved science, and as I went through school, I got to enjoy science more and wanted to get into medicine because of problem solving, and I think I just naturally gravitated to the animals because I have an empathy for the animals, I think a little bit more than I did for the people.
What kind of animals do you treat?
I treat pets for the most part, and that would be dogs and cats and snakes and birds and iguanas and guinea pigs and mice and rats.
What is the most interesting thing you do?
One of the most interesting things I do is sometimes we investigate a reason why an animal is vomiting, and one of the things we use is this tool that's called a gastroscope. And we sometimes, under general anesthesia, put this down the throat of a dog or cat, and we look around. And sometimes we find interesting things that they've swallowed, and we take it out with that.
What similarities are there between human medicine and veterinary medicine?
A veterinarian basically has to be an expert in all fields with many different animals. He has to be a dermatologist, a nutritionist, a psychologist, a cardiologist, and that's sometimes we deal with heartworm disease in dogs, and we have to know how to treat that. We have to be soft tissue surgeons, orthopedic surgeons, and radiologists.
This week in Critics Corner, Bryan Middle School chose Summer of the Monkeys, written by Wilson Rawls. This book is about Jay Barry Lee, a 14-year-old boy who lives in Oklahoma's Cherokee Ozarks with his family. One day while Jay Barry and his dog Rowdy were looking for their stray cow, they stumble across some monkeys. Will Jay Barry try to catch the monkeys? If he does, will he succeed? To find out these questions and many more, read this funny, action-packed novel, Summer of the Monkeys. That's all for this week's show. Be sure to tune in next week when the 6th grade class of St. Joseph Catholic School visits News 6.
The Bryan Area Foundation is committed to education in the Bryan area and is proud to support Bryan Middle School in today's News 6. Local support has also been provided by the Northwest Ohio Educational Technology Foundation, Bowling Green State University, and the members of WBGU-TV.